Okay, so No Way Out just ended, and a very odd, a very clustery pay-per-view. I would say they WWE had a chance to come close to what TNA produced last week at Slammiversary, but to be quite honest, I think a lot of us knew that TNA, with the role that they're on, that there was no way WWE, being the role they were on, would outmatch or outproduce any sort of high quality pay per view with No Way Out, thus leaving TNA victorious for the month of June in this little battle of wrestling companies. But this show started off with what was the opener? The world title match, which was a good match, honestly. That's when I thought that, oh, maybe WWE can pull something out of the hat. But then again, it's Dolph Ziggler and Sheamus, and those two together don't seem to have bad matches with each other. So they got off to a good start. And then I don't remember what was after that. But you had a whole bunch. The Christian and Cody Rhodes match. I'm just going to tell you what comes off the top of my head. Christian and Cody Rhodes match was good. It was, another reason I'm like, okay, maybe things will be good. And then after that, it kind of went downhill because you had the tag team match, which was alright. It was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. And the crowd was a lot more into it as well. And I think you have a whole bunch of young guys who kind of show that they deserve a spot in a better push that they're getting at the moment. Especially Justin Gabriel and Tyson Kidd. Two guys to really look out for. And hopefully in a tag team they can do something. At least something. Nothing big, but something at least. Because, that's just wasted talent. And as the years go by, these guys are just ticking away their time. And what else really stood out? The Ryback squash was just another Ryback squash. The Triple H thing I talked about already. It was okay, but honestly, just put it in this way. If you are coming from New York to New Jersey and you paid, let's say that someone sat fifth row at this pay-per-view. So it was $250 for second row. So let's say around 100, let's say $200 to sit. Do you really want to see a Ryback squash, Triple H promo, Brodus Clay versus David Otunga, Santino versus Ricardo, half-ass Divas match. Yeah, those five things for what you can see on Raw and SmackDown. Someone paid $100 or more to see while being there live, or ordering on pay-per-view for whatever, $60, $70, whatever they charge. That does not seem worth it at all. And there's a reason that people are stopped watching, because it's been the same thing over and over again. How often do we see this kind of stuff happen on their TV show, where it's like things happen for no reason and things get dropped for no reason? How long was Abraham Washington off TV until he randomly pops up and then says, you're going to get your shining moment with Epico and Primo? And then he ended up turning on them, and now thus leaving a little stable with the primetime players in Abraham Washington. And the WWE title match I talked about already. It was good. I would have expected a lot more drama from it, but this kind of leaves a cliffhanger saying technically AJ didn't pick a side, which is going to flow over to the next pay-per-view, which could flow over to SummerSlam, and where it would have its big payoff, which I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. I can see AJ getting in some sort of angle, but not really having a deciding factor until SummerSlam. And I think Daniel Bryan can say, I wasn't pinned, so Money in the Bank could be CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan in some sort of gimmick match, and then they kind of have their big payoff match at SummerSlam, but have Punk retain at the next pay-per-view. And then you had the main event, Big Show versus John Cena. I don't think anyone expected anything spectacular out of this. It was very boring. It was very stupid. And the ending was very dumb, I think. How Brodus Clay, the guy who's dancing in squash matches, got beat up by the Big Show, got moved to SmackDown, is now in the main event of No Way Out. Came out with a chair in hand. I guess he forgot that a steel cage match is technically a no disqualification match. He had the door open, begging Big Show to come out because he wanted to beat him up so bad. But he could have just walked in, beat him up, and then left. Just stupid things that it just doesn't make sense to me. And then he started calling out all these these guys like Santino and Alex Riley and Kofi and Zack Ryder, they all got just pummeled. I don't know what happened with Kofi. I don't remember. I remember he kicked Big Show down, and then I forgot what happened after that. But Kofi climbed the cage pretty fast. That was impressive. And Ryder got a huge pop. Whatever. These guys, people in New Jersey, I'm telling you, they are still back in 2011 when Ryder was half what decent. And then you had Cena giving Big Show, picking him up, and the commentators told us like it was the first time it had happened. Picked him up, crowd goes nuts, as you know, as they should. It's a big spot. And then, but the announcers, oh hey, you just picked him up, hey. And there was no referee. You had Cena climbing, and then Big Show through the door. And I thought Big Show was gonna win because I thought the distraction by Brodus Clay and then John Laurinaitis. But Cena jumps down to the very little offense he had, much like the Brock Lesnar match. Cena just gets his ass kicked throughout the whole match and comes back to win it. Seems like the old Cena on pay-per-view formula. And props to him, he can take a beating. And he ends up winning at the end. And then you had Big Show just lying there. Clay's holding Laurinaitis. Cena says let go of him. And then what happened? Cena had him in the AA position, and Vince was like, oh, I've hired, and then he gave him an AA through a table. And he went back in the cage. And did he climb over, or did he go through the door? I don't remember, but he got back in the cage, and he just posed, whatever, and that ended the show. A very forgettable show. God, I feel bad for anybody who went, besides the 2-3 matches that were decent. Wow. And next is Money in the Bank. Always a good show. Got to look forward to Money in the Bank, but if WWE wants to pick up their pace with what TNA's doing, they got a lot of work to do. And I guess we're going to see, maybe a computer will once again be running Monday Night Raw. But you know either way that Laurinaitis will be back in some loophole that they'll create. And that's it. You know, for these firing gimmicks, they never last. You know, the guy will be on for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks tops. He'll be back. And that's all. Pay-per-view. What are you going to do? It's WWE. And I'll see you guys in the next video.